Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, soarers, philos, friends, rowers, rosebuds, sigma gents, and all of those who are watching us in YouTube land. Hello. Welcome to the newest episode of Captivating Conversations. My name is Sora Lauren T. Bates, and I am your host, life member number 1704, anti-centennial anti-bacillus of the newly reactivated Zeta Zeta Sigma chapter in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hi. We are here today with area coordinator Sora Tariya Sanders. She is the area coordinator of Iowa and Minnesota. She got two states job, which means she double busy. So let me just give y'all a little bit of her bio. She is currently life member number 1585. She was inducted in spring 12, charter member of the Sigma Pi chapter at the University of Michigan. I was there for that. She is a reactivating member of the Theta Delta Sigma chapter, which is in Flint. She is a wife. She is a mom of two, and she is also a clinical therapist. Is it licensed or not licensed yet? Licensed yet, right?
I'm a limited.
She working on getting that license because she got like 50 billion degrees. Okay. She got a lot of degrees. Okay. She's smart. All right. Welcome, Sora Sanders, to the show.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone.
So, in my last episode with the Central Region music directors, Sora LaShonda Ewing, I said, oh, I'm so excited about our next guest because it's somebody that I'm actually older than. Oh. Everybody that's been on the show, besides you and the YSC, has been somebody that's like older than me. So I'm just like,
okay. That awkward elephant in the room, like, okay.
I mean, I'm not mad at it because, we've had a lot of great conversations this season. So it's been like, I've learned a lot. I've given a lot, like, of shared information and then received a lot of shared information in return. But then sometimes you'd be like, man, everybody older than me, that, or whatever.
I think it's three of us. It's me, the YSC, and Madam Syntactes. Because she and I are only a year apart.
Well, okay, so the Syntactes, yeah, but she does way more than I do. Okay, she does
busy.
She does way more than I do. But I am older than her in Sigma years, but I think we're around the same age in real life. I don't know. She might be younger than me in real life. It doesn't matter. But I'm glad you're on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we are going to jump right in today. Y'all know, as we do, I do have the countdown coming up at the end of the show. So we are on this countdown on the road to Centennial. I'm going to keep counting down to our last episode. And then I have an announcement at the end of this episode too about a special guest that recently confirmed. I'm super excited about that. I'm just give you a clue because I'm not telling you who it is. Like I didn't tell you who the last one is in the last episode, but we'll get to that later. All right. So diving right in for you, Sora Sanders, what has been your greatest achievement in life so far?
My greatest achievement in life so far, I would say is having my children. I know as cliche as that may sound, it really is because they have bettered me in ways that I can't imagine. I had my daughter when I was young. I was a teen mom. I had her straight out of high school. I was 18. At that time, all of my peers are going away to college, and here I am taking on, as what most people say, putting on your big girl drawers, putting on this big responsibility. And I feel like it's an achievement because she helped to grow me in a space that, in a time frame, in a space that I didn't think was possible. I started no longer making decisions on my behalf, but always considering what is the best decision for her and us as a unit. And so just being able to be resilient during that time, so many life changes were occurring, but just being able to be resilient and to continue to press on. So just her, that has been my life achievement, my children.
They do say that children make you grow up. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't have any kids at the moment. I have a ton of nieces and nephews, but I can take them
Right.
home. So
Right. Right.
it is not the same thing. I have godchildren, but again, I can take them home. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
you can spend the night. Not,
Right. And
not
then you go back
forever.
home. Yep. And then
and,
you
then
go back home.
and then I drop you off. Okay,
That's
is your
right.
mom and daddy
Right.
home? Let me call, make sure they're
Right.
there.
Right.
Because we on the way. Okay.
Right.
You come back in a couple weeks, but you can't come back tomorrow.
Not right now. Right. Not right now.
You gotta
Auntie, go travel. I know you like traveling.
I be like, Auntie gotta go to the airport.
Right.
Facts. I'm going out the country. I'll see you next week.
See, yep.
Facts. See, okay. And then another thing. So before I move on to the next thing, so in the last episode, I told y'all these next few conversations are with people that I like know that I have known for a while. So if we get a little sidetracked, it's okay because we know each other. Okay. I've known her since she became a member back in 2012. So that was 10 years ago. And we talk, we've stayed together in a room at a conference.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, we know each other, which is how it should be, with sorors. You should get to, especially the ones from your home state. Absolutely. That's just a side note. You should be, in communication always with sorors in your home state, because you never know when y'all would need to partner on something or need a hand or say, hey, I'm in the area, let's grab lunch or something like that, so you always want to build those relationships. That's for anybody, new sorors, old sorors, reactivated sorors, just saying. Absolutely. That is a real thing because we're sisters, and that's that is what we do. Okay. What is your dream vacation? Tell me about it.
My dream vacation, I'd have to say is Bora Bora.
Ooh.
I have been trying to it's a toss-up. Let me say this. It's a toss-up between Bora Bora and Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I've always wanted to go to both places. So it's kind of, one is in the works, and I'm trying to see which one's gonna be first. But we're leaning more towards doing Dubai and Abu Dhabi first, because that's been on my bucket list since probably shortly after high school. So that's my dream vacation.
All right. So take a lot of money from what I hear. I haven't been, but from what I'm told.
Yeah.
Make sure you have some cheddar.
You're so right, because that's what we were told too. So we're actually, it was funny. My mom wanted to go and plan a big family vacation because I graduated this year, and we were always talking about doing it in 2022. And I'm like, wait, hold up. And this was like 5 years ago.
It's like,
I'll be done with school, but let's just put a pause there. That's our centennial. Nothing will be planned out in 2022.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, we're looking at 2024 to get ample time to properly plan, because I don't believe in half stepping in vacations.
Definitely not.
Right. Yeah,
especially if you're going halfway around the world. I mean, hello, I just said we live in Michigan. Okay, that's far.
Absolutely.
That's like a whole day plus of traveling.
Yes, of travel, it is.
Just to get there from here. Yep. That's far. That is literally around the world. Yeah. So
a friend of mine just went, I do believe, and she's from Michigan. I do believe she said it was a 24-hour flight.
Yep. That's like going from here to Australia. It's like 22 and a half hours. And then you have to make like 2 or 3. It depends on which way you go. But I know it's the same thing for like Abu Dhabi. So when we were right before we chartered in the UAE, I was looking at going to that chartering, but then I found out like all of the official stuff, like way too late for me to buy a ticket. Because when I found out about it, the ticket was like $4,000, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I couldn't afford to do that at the time anyway. But when I was looking at the flights, it was like, I saw some was like 26 hours, 25 hours, 24 hours, and they had multiple stops. I think the shortest flight you could get had 2 stops.
Wow.
Coming from Michigan.
Yeah.
So it was like, if you go to Chicago, which is one thing I like about being close to Chicago, because you can go to Chicago and catch a flight, especially an international flight, a lot cheaper than you can leaving out of Detroit or going to Toronto if you wanted to go the northern route. But it's definitely a lot. It's a full day of travel.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is exhausting.
Absolutely.
Your body gets tiresome because you're in one position that whole time. And the longest trip I had was when I went to Nigeria. So I'm just going to tell you and anybody else, if you have a long flight that is over 5 hours, please wear some circulation socks.
Compression socks, yes.
It is or compression socks, yes. It's imperative because if you're sitting down for that lengthy of a time and you're not really getting up and moving about the plane, which most people don't, then it can cause like blood clots in your legs, which can kill you. So don't do that. So put on your compression socks. They're very helpful. My doctor told me that when I told her I was going to Nigeria, that was the first thing she said was get some compression socks. And I was like, okay. And they were very helpful because I really didn't do a lot of, getting up and down on a flight. And we left from New York and that was a 12.5-hour flight from New York to Lagos. So they sell them for kids too. So make sure you get some for the babies. Absolutely. They're gonna need the compression socks. Everybody needs compression socks. Yes. That's extremely important. Extremely important. So all right, she gonna be up in the UAE and she gonna be like, what up? I'm doing a dirt race in the sand dunes. Hey, on a 4-wheeler.
Riding on the camel's back. I'm doing all of that.
She doing all of that. She gonna be posting all the pictures on her social media. And I'm like, yeah, she said a couple years ago, she was gonna look at her. Look at them out there with the camels and the sand and the sun and the hot weather and the desert. That's gonna be her. Okay.
I can't wait.
That's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to hear about it, after it happens. I'm gonna get to that part of the world one of these days, So if there is anything that you could have more of, what would that be?
PTO. Yeah, PTO. So much like you, I mean, I say that in a laughing manner, but I'm very serious.
I know you are.
Much like you, I know you like to travel. Our family loves to travel. My husband and we go to Vegas. I'm not gonna tell y'all how many times a year, but
a lot, because I be seeing you posting a lot. They go a lot.
I'll just say we just came back in February, and the next trip is already booked, and it's less than 60 days away. So we go quite a bit. So
they go a lot.
And it's so funny. My boss has even said, do you even have enough PTO? Because every time you turn around and you snatch it right up. I sure do, because I believe in time off.
Hello.
And specifically time off to travel.
Hello.
That is my mental health break. You know how
that is a necessity.
That is my mental health day when I take break, PTO. So yes, I would love more PTO.
Yeah,
so I feel that. If my boss is listening,
give her some more PTO, okay? Give her some more PTO. I took a whole trip to Palm Springs by myself just to get a break.
Really?
I did. It was amazing.
That's actually on my bucket list. Not necessarily Palm Springs, but just to do a vacation by myself, just to debrief, get away, mentally recharge, and come back and be whole, right?
It was amazing, and it was definitely something I needed. It was like I need a mental break. It was right after I got done with school, and I said I was planning a trip before my graduation. I was like, once I'm done with school, I'm taking myself. That was my graduation present to myself. Awesome. I went to Palm Springs for 4 days, 3 nights. It was amazing. I had some really great food. I sat in the pool. I got a tan. I got some free drinks.
Hey.
I slept really, really well.
And I heard Palm Springs is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And it's like mountains everywhere. It's very picturesque. So like everything you've seen, like if you've ever seen anything about Palm Springs, like in a movie or in a TV show, that is really what it looks like. It's very picturesque.
So I need to add that to my list. Because I've been to California, but I've only been to, of course, Hollywood. So I need to add that to my list.
It's a total different, because I've been to LA.
Okay, yep, I'm in LA
It's
and
like
Hollywood. Okay, yep.
Palm Springs is like
Mellow.
hi.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
It's totally different. But
Okay.
it's like the mountains, you literally step off the plane and you just see mountains everywhere. It
That
was
sounds
very soothing. It was very relaxing. I was gonna go to a spa, but I ended up not going to a spa. But
okay.
it was great. I loved being able to just sit out by the pool, have my little daiquiri or margarita. I don't know. I had several, you know.
Had a good time. That's all that matters.
I went to a few restaurants out there. The food was amazing. It was just like, you know, and then I, you know, took naps in the middle of the day, which is like the greatest thing ever. So when I came home, I felt really recharged and just like, you know, it was that break that I needed. And that was really the first time of me going somewhere completely, totally by myself.
Okay.
And not like meeting up with some friends or meeting up with some stores or, you know, hanging out with family or stuff like that. It was really just about that decompression. Everybody needs that. So I highly recommend, you know, next time I'm gonna go to the deserts of Arizona because I really hear that they have a lot of spa meditation type of hotels.
I've heard that too about Arizona.
So that's on my list as well.
Okay.
Now we're going to turn into something just a little bit serious here. So I'm going to just preface this. Tariya Sanders. I just call her Tariya because whatever. She has been on this weight loss journey for a little while now, and it's very for me has been very inspirational. So we're gonna just talk about that a little bit. Since you have been on this journey, what is the best advice for someone that is looking to possibly go the surgical route on their journey? And then kind of what were your steps or your process and kind of led you to going to do surgery and, you know, everything from where you started to where you are now?
Yeah. So in 2017, I just noticed my weight just kept increasing. And it was ironic. We were at a conference that year, at a regional conference, and the way my dress was fitting, I was just like, this just can't be it. Like, I'm too short to have all this weight piled up. It just doesn't look good. I don't feel healthy. I know it can't be healthy. And so, of course, I talked it over with my doctor. She gave me meal plans and different types of ideas, started a gym regimen, started going to the gym. And I would always notice from about 17 to about 19, I could drop 30, right? It would be easy to drop 30, but it seemed like I could never get over the hump of 30. And then slowly but surely, I would always creep back. That 30 would always come back plus 10 more. In 2020, I'll say about the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. No, it was the summer of 19. Summer of 19, I started hearing about surgical options. And the ignorant part of me, and I say ignorant because ignorance simply means lack of knowledge. The ignorant part of me was thinking, yeah, but do people do that as, quote, an easy way out? Not even realizing that it could be different reasons why people do it. Talking over with my primary care doctor, and my primary care doctor was like, I'm gonna be honest, I actually believe you would be a great candidate for it. And I'm just like, really? Why is that? And she said, so you know the lab work that we did? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, so came back, you have a thyroid problem. And I'm like, oh, so something I would have never known. And she said, yes, medication is going to fix that, but without a permanent solution, you'll never probably obtain long-term weight loss on your own successfully because of the thyroid issue. So then I started researching what she was saying. Okay, let me start looking into this. And I started looking into different types of bariatric surgeries. She referred me to a bariatric surgeon. And I went in my consultation, remained open-minded. And the first thing he said was, why do you want to do this? Because if you tell me that it's just about the outward, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do it.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, now let me really think, because outside of that, why do I really want it?
Right.
And he said, Now I'm gonna tell you what I've researched about your chart, your medical chart, and the recommendation from your primary care doctor. You have a thyroid concern, you're pre-diabetic. Those are the reasons why you should be focusing on doing it. The
Right.
outward appearance is just a bonus.
Right.
And fast forward now to 2022, he couldn't have been more right. Couldn't have been more right. The size, dropping all the clothes and the pounds, yes, it has been great. But to reverse my diabetes, that
Right.
is important to me. To get my thyroid issue under control, that is important to me.
Right.
So to be able to help. I also, and I'll be transparent, I also have polycystic ovarian syndrome. To be able to reverse those
Mm.
things mattered more to me than the outward. And
Because this is
so
your long-term health. This is long-term.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. For me, it was just important that I want to be able to. I had just had my son in 2018. I had got to the highest I had ever been. I had reached 264 pounds, and just walking, just from getting out my car, going to a building, and my lower back is burning. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I have
Yeah.
got to do something. And March 1st of last year, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery, also known as VSG in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
And from March 1st to I think it was January, I lost 100 pounds, and now I'm
Okay.
over 100. And so I'm over 100. But this is one thing that people don't realize, that people like me, who even at first thought this is the easy way out, this is the hardest thing you'll ever do.
Right.
Because it is continuous lab monitoring and taking vitamins every single day. And bariatric vitamins are not cheap. This is a monthly expense of $70 that I have now added to my household every month, because you have to stay on your vitamins. If not, you run the risk of your body taking those nutrients from other places. And the first place it's going to take it from is your teeth. And so you don't want
Oh.
your teeth to start falling out, right? You don't want your teeth to start falling out because of lack of vitamins. And so,
Definitely not. Ooh.
yeah, so being able to get right. So being able to get back to running, I enjoyed running. And don't get me wrong, even at 264 pounds, I did a 10-mile race. Now, it took me a minute, it took longer than most, but I
Mm-hmm.
finished it. But I was in pain. I was aching. My knee was burning for the next 3 days. And I kept thinking, I'm in my 30s. Like, this is not how I want to live for the sake of my children. I want to
Right.
be in the healthiest position I can for the sake of my children and longevity of my own life. And so doing life preservation was surgery for me. It may not be everybody's choice, but it works for me. And I'm so glad that I shifted my mind. But the surgery is the easy part. The eating right, that nobody tells you have to still do that. You make a conscious
Right.
decision every day that you have to still eat right, eat healthy. And so I still consciously every day, okay, good choice, bad choice. What do I want to do?
So then, because I know that there are different types of surgery, just because I have looked into this myself. And this is something, that we have talked about before as well. So as far as like your diet goes, how has having the surgery impacted just like your daily, what you put into your body?
It's just made me more self-aware,
Okay.
just I have more self-awareness and more self-discipline and control.
Okay.
As an example, Sundays, our routine is we go to church, we go out to eat. I had salmon at dinner. Now I can do salmon. It's packed with protein.
Right.
And so it's great for me, right? But my daughter wanted McDonald's. I can go to McDonald's now and not even be tempted to even sneak a couple fries out her bag. It doesn't even
Mm-hmm.
phase my mind anymore. I haven't had pop since February of last year. Certain things, it's no longer a trigger for me, but I had
Mm.
to get that mental health piece together. The physical part was going to follow naturally.
Right.
So just giving myself grace to say, yeah, you could still have X, Y, and Z. Like, I still have things I love. I still love pizza. I still love ice cream. Do I have them? I do. But do I have them in moderation? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Whereas
Yeah.
before, I was eating 4 or 5 slices. No shame. That's just really what it was. Now I'm
Right.
eating about half a slice, maybe one full slice, and that's it. So just being able to have that self-control, and just I've noticed in my household, my husband and I share the responsibility of cooking, but he's very supportive. Although my husband did not have the surgery, he's supportive. And on the days that he cooks, he makes sure that it's stuff that I can eat. So if he's in a mood for a fried pork chop, he'll grill mine,
Mm.
or if If we want fried chicken, he'll do it in the air fryer. So everybody you still get that little crunch, but just a little
Right.
healthy, right? So just
Right.
making those lifestyle changes, because that's truly what it is for us in the bariatric community. Whether you have the Roux-en-Y, which is the full old school gastric bypass, or you have the sleeve, we don't look at it as a diet. I'm sure most of us can attest to it's truly a lifestyle change.
Right.
You know, like my doctor first told me, this will be it. High protein, low carb. That's what you're focusing on for the rest of your life. Can you handle that? Absolutely.
Right, right. And I think that's like with anything, you have to make a conscious decision, and then you have to make a conscious effort to
Absolutely.
stand by that decision that you've made
Absolutely.
to live your lifestyle that way. So I applaud
Mhm.
you,
Hey,
because I
thank
know
you.
that it takes a lot. And I've been with my primary doctor for years now, and it's always a topic of conversation that we have had over the years. And I've had kidney issues where my kidneys were functioning at like 68%, which is really bad.
Mhm.
Really, really bad. And I was like, I would have just headaches for days and days and days, on end, with like no relief. And I was popping so many, pills. I'm just like, my head will not stop hurting. I would be dizzy all the time. Just a lot of things. I always felt like super dehydrated. It's just so many things. And it's like, now as we um move where we are in today's society, and just how like we know there are so many um things that are not good for us in the food that we eat, because everything is overly processed. If you look at your grandparents, like my grandparents, my grandmother, she'll be 90. My grandpa, he was 90 when he passed. And it wasn't, I mean, he was sick, but he lived a long life. You know what I'm saying? My grandma, she pretty much eats what she wants, but she does everything in moderation, as she always has. So it's like, when you look at our grandparents' generation, or our parents for that matter, how food was for them is drastically different of how it is for like us, and then the generations coming behind us. Like my grandparents, my mom said when they were kids, there was a hot meal on the table she's like, the only day that nobody really cooked was Saturday. And she was like, it's not like we was going out. It was like whatever's in the refrigerator,
Yep. Go for what you
whatever
know.
leftovers we got,
Yep. Yep.
make
Go
your
for what
own,
you know.
make your own meal. But
Mhm.
like nowadays, because everything is at a faster pace, and it seems like there's way more stuff that has to be done. People are working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and that has to do a lot with, equal pay for equal work,
Sure.
and
Sure.
all of that other stuff. It's so many things that just tie into
Right.
it, where people are just like, I can go by my house, I can go up, it's like one major street up, and go down one major street, and you will see every fast food chain. It's a Taco Bell, it's a Rally's, it's a Burger King, it's a McDonald's, it's 3 pizza places. It's this new slider place, and they're all on the same block. Same
Okay.
block.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
a bread basket. It's like everything. So whatever you want, it's
Yeah.
all right there. And it's all fast food. So it's all processed food. So we have so much of that now, where I remember when I was a kid, like going to McDonald's was like a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because my mom used to cook literally all the time. If my mom wasn't cooking, we was at my grandparents' house. And it's
That's
just
right.
not like that
It's
anymore.
not.
So it's, I try to make a conscious effort to do more grilled things, and not, I had to just kind of in my mind change the way that I thought about food, which has been, better for me. I just need to be consistent on the exercise tip, because I hate working out. Well, I take that back. I like to work out outside, which is not really beneficial when you live in Michigan.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you though. I'm with you. I'm a runner and I enjoy running outside. I actually hate the gym. I used to like it, but I don't. I think since
I don't
COVID,
like I
for
don't like
multiple
it.
reasons, I don't like it. But now, yeah, I'm waiting on the weather to break
Yeah, because
because
I'm like,
I'm
I
hitting
go
that
for a
pavement.
walk in my
Yeah,
neighborhood. I could
yeah,
get good 2.5, 3 miles in, no problem. Put my headphones on, listen to my
yep,
music, and I'm good. But
yep.
the weather does not always cooperate when you live in a
in
cold
Michigan.
in a cold state. But it's and then a lot of so many things like on YouTube, especially like when you have like people like Tabitha Brown, and if you ever watch anything like the Food Network YouTube, they are always posting videos of, or Food Network on their website, they're always posting videos of like healthy options and stuff that's easy to actually make. So it's beneficial. So kudos to you on your weight loss journey. I'm gonna get my stuff together and get there one of these days.
You will. I'll be rooting you on the way.
Sometimes I just be like, this is not life. This is just this is not it, But you have to, I think you just have to have like, you have to really just change your mindset and then be committed to yourself to make the change, because you can't do things for other people, which is one of the things I've learned in life. You can't do things for other people because you will never stick with it. You have to do it for yourself. So
absolutely,
that's just that, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're gonna get back to a lighter topic. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. In your opinion, what is the best part of being in this sorority?
The networks, the relationships and the networks, connections, partnerships, however you want to word it, that is what first comes to mind. I always tell the story how this organization, just being connected to an individual, allowed me my first job in my field. Straight out of college, no experience. And of course, the job I think was asking for some experience. And she simply told her mother I was her soror. And I thought I was going in for an interview, and the interview was basically giving me my work schedule.
Oh,
first job.
Well, amen.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
Well, amen.
Yeah. And that was, I graduated in 2013 from college, and I graduated specifically in April, and the job I had it by May. And so, yeah, so I applaud Sigma Gamma Rho for the networks and the sisterhood and the partnerships, because so many people feel like, oh, sororities, like, do you just party? And it's like, that's the furthest thing I do. Like, I was never a partier. But you want to get into some good partnerships and some good networking opportunities. This is it. The sisterhood is a bonus, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely was able to make some connections just by going on a trip to Belize with sorors that I probably never would have had a conversation with in general. Sure. Because I was not, that's not our region. So it's like, okay, I'm out here on this trip that I just kind of went on a whim. But then when you're just able to sit and have a conversation with other leaders or leaders, that are in the organization from different regions, and, you're able to talk about things like business related and how you can, and it's just like, okay, well, if you need something, just let me know. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
Thank you.
Right. Right.
Just like, do you want to move to Texas? Because Soros is like, you should just move to Texas. I'm like, okay. Shout out to Sora Kimberly Mosley. Okay, the Southwestern region ROA coordinator, because she's just like, that's my new boo. I love her. That's my new boo. We definitely made a connection. She's just like, you could just move to Texas and it'll be fine. We'll welcome you with open arms. I'm like, well, I have lived in Texas before. She's like, well, come back.
Come back, right? Come back.
I'm like, well, I'll think about it. We'll see what happens. I would definitely think about it. But yeah, networking is definitely it's a great thing. It is a great thing.
It is.
Yeah. So this question I've kind of been asking it in different ways, but I think it's a great question, given that we are in our centennial year, and we don't want things to slow down, as our grand bachelors would say. We want things to keep going at the rate that they're going after our centennial year. So what would be the best piece of advice that you can give to a new soror that comes in during the centennial year?
I would say keep that flame burning. Always remember your why, if you will. Why did you want to join? Always let that bring you back if you get off track. I definitely tell that to anybody. We actually have a torch class coming in, and I just recently told that to them. Always remember your why, because there will be times burnout, just like on a job, burnout is real. And you
Very.
might be like, or hurt, just like how they say in
Very.
church hurt, sisterhood hurt, sorority hurt
It
is real
happens.
too. Yeah, it happens. And
It
I just want to,
happens.
I just like to be honest with people. Like, this is what you get into. I'm not gonna say it never will happen. Our hope and prayer is that it doesn't, but the reality is it does.
It can happen.
So, always remembering your why in the beginning. You didn't join for other people, so remember that.
Right.
Remember your why and let that be your driving force that keeps you going.
Right. That's real. It's real talk. It's real talk. So this is my favorite question that I have come up with, and this is our last question of today's chat. If you could have a conversation with any of the founders, which one would you pick and what would you ask her?
It's a toss-up, right? It's a toss-up. Kibina McClure and Mary Lou Allison Gardner Little.
Okay.
And I say it's kind of a toss-up because for Sora Little, I would just ask her, because she was the primary founder, right? What gave you that spark to step out and do it? Because I feel like sometimes we get in our own way. We have visions, we have ideas, and we might be like, no, but I can't do that.
Right.
I'm not an expert or whatever the case may be.
Right.
We talk ourselves out of stuff. And so I would want to ask her, what made you push past, if you had those thoughts, what made you push past and still do it? Like, I'm gonna get a team and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it this year. Like, what made her do it? And then for Kibina McClure, I would simply just come from the angle of, knowing she had an illness and knowing that she passed at a young age, would she have done anything differently had she known she only had a certain amount of time left?
Yeah, because it was only 2 years.
Yep.
She did a lot.
Yep.
And she did a lot in 2 years.
A lot. Yeah, she did. So it's kind of a toss-up.
Okay. That's fair. So far of the people, since I've been asking that question, I've had 3. You're the third person that said Founder Little, which, that's kind of like, in my mind, she's just like the ultimate, because you want to know, like, what went behind saying,
how did it go? Yep.
This is what we're going to do. How did you decide that it was going to be these women, these other women, that you wanted to do this with? I know they were all friends and they worked together because they were all teachers, and we were the only ones that were started by students that, started by people that had already graduated from college.
That's right.
So, and then that's another thing that's just like uniquely different to specifically us, because all the others, they were all undergrads. So it's just like, it's so many questions. It's just so many questions.
Now, I will say one question that's burning, and any of the 7 could have answered. How do we get these colors? Because so out sidebar. So my boss is a Zeta, so we always kind of nitpick.
Okay.
And my boss always says, "Why y'all couldn't pick another color other than royal blue?" And I'm always
let me stop myself, because I was about to. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Because I was about to say.
I'm always throwing my shade, because I'm like, well, I mean, because it looked better with gold than it did white. Duh, So I will say that is
why y'all couldn't
question. Yep,
why y'all couldn't? I could ask a lot. Well, we're not gonna do that, because we're not bashing nobody on this show.
No. Of course
we're the best. We're last created, best design. We say that for a reason, okay? Because I mean.
Absolutely. And of course, there's no bashing. I love the fact that my supervisor and I have that good rapport, that we can do that fun stuff, that fun little tag team with each other. But yeah, I am kind of curious about that question.
I mean, they could have picked, the Zetas could have picked another color.
Yeah, this is true.
But it's called Zeta Phi Beta Sigma, so I'm gonna just leave that there. Okay. Just saying. They say that, okay, all the time.
Yeah, they do. They
They
do.
say that all they say Zeta Phi Beta Sigma because they're
They
constitutionally
do.
bound. They say
Right.
that all the time. So that's no tea, no shade. That's what
Right,
they
right, right.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be don't be trying to come for me and my DMs or whatever. Talk about I should
Right.
know. That's what they say.
Right. Come on now. Make it clear. Make it clear for the people in the back.
That's what they say. That ain't what I say. That's what they say. Because I've heard
Right.
many times over my 19 years. I have heard that many times. We're constitutionally bound. We know that. Okay.
Yes, we know.
It's
We
very
know.
clear. It's very clear. I tell you, I'm not getting in trouble with nobody today, okay?
Don't do it. We're not gonna get in trouble.
We not do. I love everybody. I love everybody because we always founded upon the same principles.
Absolutely.
Scholarship, service, sisterhood, brotherhood, community service, all of that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what matters.
And that's what matters. I love all y'all. Okay, great. But I love us the most. All right. Let's be clear. 1704. Okay, life member. Hello. All right. So coming up on our next episode, we have Sor, my friend, my boo thing, who lives in Chicago. I love her so much. Sor L. Chanel Dickerson, who is in Delta Sigma. She is a great person to know, and we're just going to get into some stuff with her the next episode because, she's very inspirational in my opinion. I just love her. She's a great person to have a conversation with about anything, everything, and she gives really good advice in general. So I'm looking forward to that. So for our countdown,
where we at?
From today's episode, we are 103 days from the start of our July Centennial celebration, which starts on July the 12th, which is a Tuesday, in case you didn't know. Indianapolis, Indiana is where I will be for a whole week and a day, okay? Because I'm going to be working on my committee. I am ready for Centennial. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And counting down to November the 12th, 2022, we are 226 days away. And in my opinion, it just cannot come fast enough.
Right.
So I'm very much looking forward to celebrating Founders Day at Butler, turning 100 with all my sorors that will be in attendance. It is going to be an amazing sight to see. It's going to be emotional. I might cry more than once because this organization really has just done a lot for me in life in general and has given me access to a lot of things, a lot of people that I probably never would have had access to otherwise. And I've been able to travel and go places that I never would have went to otherwise. Not to say never, but the experience wouldn't have been the same if I wasn't in the organization. I'll say that. That's a better way to say it because, so it's pretty awesome. Now, for this special guest, I have officially confirmed my second special guest, who happens to be on our International Board of Directors. And she is from Northeastern region, and that's the only clue that I'm giving you. So I'm gonna let y'all figure that out. Last time I gave 2 clues about who the first special guest was. I should only gave y'all 1. The only clue y'all needed to know was that she's the ultimate legacy. And if you don't know who that is, you must be new. And that's the only thing I can say about that because everybody knows who she is. The second special guest that has already confirmed, she is on the International Board of Directors. As all of the special guests that I'm invited to end the season are all on the International Board of Directors. I'll say that. This particular one is from Northeast region, and I will leave that there. So there's that. I so can't wait to have that conversation with her. I'm just saying it's going to be so awesome. And it won't happen until June. So, you know, you guys have plenty of time. If you have any questions, y'all see my info, hit me up in the DMs on Instagram or Facebook, send me a direct message, whatever, messenger, whatever. I already have sent questions, but you know, I'm willing to change a question or two if you send me a really good one. So if you send me a good question, I can change it and ask your question if it's not something that I already sent. So there's that. So thank you, Sora Tariya Sanders, for coming on the show today. I appreciate you. I love you. I can't wait to see you in person again. We haven't seen each other in person in so long. COVID. Ugh, I'm so over it.
You both.
I
You
am
so much for having
so,
me. I appreciate it.
so over it. So this is Ending Captivating Conversation. I am your host, Sora Lauren T. Bates, life member number 1704. Hit me up Instagram, Lauren Talise, or on Facebook, L Talise Bates. And we will see you next time. Bye.